Hey, quick moment, I want to talk about what it really feels like to use the ASUS TUF Gaming F16 every single day. This isn't for someone who's okay with good enough. This is for the person who notices when a laptop stutters in the middle of a fight, when frame drops pull you out of immersion, when colors feel dull instead of alive. You know quality because you feel it in every click, every frame, every moment. You're done settling for gear that just barely gets by. Before you go deeper, check the current price and availability. Gaming laptops like this can move fast in stock and pricing, and you want to know what it's sitting at right now. You know that moment when you realize your old setup is holding you back? For me, it was a particularly intense session where input lag wasn't just annoying, it was decisive. A game I should have won slipped away because the rig couldn't keep up. I knew it wasn't just the game. It was the machine. When I made the switch to this, everything snapped into focus. The hesitation vanished. Suddenly performance matched intention. That emotional relief, where you stop fighting your laptop and start living in what you're playing, that's where the difference hits. Living with this machine day in and day out, it doesn't just perform, it feels capable. The 16 Full HD+ display with 165Hz isn't just smooth, it feels like your actions are reflected instantly, as if the laptop and your instincts are wired together. Games feel alive, animations feel fluid, scenes feel intentional. Even when you push it into demanding titles, there's a confidence in how it handles textures, lighting, particle chaos. You know you're seeing everything without hesitation. And this isn't just about gaming. When you're editing video or rendering a scene, that RTX 5050 isn't just there, it feels purposeful. Things move faster. Wait times shrink. Your workflow feels less like waiting and more like doing. That's the leap from compromise gear to something that supports your ambition. Once you experience that level of responsiveness and capability, you start noticing what you'd been tolerating before. Every time you glance at a lesser spec, your brain instantly fills in what you'd be losing. That's not marketing, that's loss aversion in motion. Your instincts tell you what matters. If you're hesitating because you're watching prices or waiting for a perfect moment, don't drift too long. Prices move. Availability shifts. Momentum matters. Just keep an eye on what it's doing right now before something else grabs your attention. You might think this level of performance only shows up in peak sessions, but that's not the truth. The real benefit shows up in everyday use: quick boots, seamless multitasking, animations that never stutter, gameplay that feels alive from start to finish. The laptop doesn't just work. It feels right. Here's the unexpected part: the sense of pride you get from owning something that just performs. You don't explain it to friends. You don't justify it. You use it, you feel it, and you know you chose something that feels intentional. That's a quiet but powerful shift in how gear should feel. After living with it consistently, a few things become unmistakable. Games feel smooth and responsive, performance feels confident and stable, daily tasks feel effortless, everything feels fast and capable. There are real trade-offs, though. You'll become sensitive to weaker rigs. And once you've felt this level of performance, choosing less feels uncomfortable. Eventually, comparison fatigue fades. You stop cycling through specs and settle on what your instincts have already decided. Don't let this be one of those upgrades you ponder and quietly regret later. Check the current price, see what's in stock, and when it feels right, make the move. Because once this is part of your daily setup, settling isn't even in the conversation anymore.